Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and I started this channel to document my journey becoming a single mother by choice. Got diagnosed with endometrial cancer and PCOS. So if any of those topics apply to you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and follow me along. As a recap, I took almost a 4-year hiatus after I had my son Graydon. Using IVF, I just have not been able to find the time to film with my full-time job, and I'm working like probably about 45 hours a week right now, full-time, and then of course being a full-time single mom. But I really want to try to continue to make videos, especially because I'm contemplating having another transfer next year. So this video, I kind of wanted to talk about all of my thoughts around having a second baby as a single mother by choice, all my concerns and reasons why I want to. So as a recap, when I was 37, towards the beginning of 2020, I went through a bad breakup, actually right around when COVID happened, and it was awful. And I decided to freeze my eggs. And so when I had that first ultrasound, they found a polyp on my uterus. They also found that I had PCOS. And that polyp, I had to have that removed with a hysteroscopy surgery, and they found that that was actually grade 2 endometrial cancer. They told me I had to have a hysterectomy, and I advocated for myself, and I said, how do we know if the cancer has even spread? So I had a DNC, and that came back negative, so there was actually no cancer even in the lining of my uterus. So the cancer was, in my opinion, not even grade or stage 1, because it wasn't even in the lining of my uterus. And if it were in the lining of my uterus, that would have been stage 1. So I consider it stage 0 because it was in a polyp. And then I did CAT scan, MRI, more blood work, no signs of cancer. So then right after that, I decided to do an egg retrieval, and I ended up with OHSS. That was a really awful experience. I'll try to link that video as well. But I ended up with, I want to say they retrieved 41 eggs and 35 were mature. And then I wasn't allowed to proceed. At that point, I had decided, you know what, I'm just going to get a sperm donor and have a baby on my own now, because I didn't want to risk the chance of my cancer coming back before I was able to have a child. So they would not let me proceed with a transfer at that time, so I had to freeze my eggs, and I actually hadn't decided on a sperm donor yet, so they just froze the eggs, not embryos. I had to wait another 3 months before having another DNC to make sure the cancer was not in the lining of my uterus at that point, that it hadn't come back. That DNC came back negative. At that point, I had found a sperm donor and made the embryos, and I tested those embryos. So when we thawed the eggs, 29 of them survived the thaw, and I ended up with 9 blastocysts that were biopsied and sent for the PGT testing. So I had pretty awful results from that. Out of the 9 blasts, I only had 1 normal euploid embryo. So I ended up having a transfer in January of 2021, which ended in a chemical pregnancy. I'll try to remember to link that video too, which was devastating because I really didn't want to start the process all over again. Although there was part of me that was like, I know I want to have more than 1 child. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise if I can get more embryos, more normal embryos this time. And so that first transfer, and I did a bunch of other testing too, an ERA and a ton of other tests before proceeding with my next transfer, which was in April of 2020. And that was successful. And that was my, my beautiful son, Graydon. So, with that transfer, or with that egg retrieval, I got 20 eggs retrieved, and only 10 of them, I think 10 of them were mature. And out of those 10, I ended up with 9 blastocysts, again, just like my first round. And out of those 9 blastocysts, 6 were normal. So that was just like a huge improvement. Have a ton of theories on why I think that second round was more successful. I really think that, well, the fact that I didn't get OHSS that time, we did a lot smaller dose of the Gonal F. And I think that had a lot to do with it. And I think I also took like letrozole or something else to keep my my estrogen low, because my estrogen was through the roof with my first retrieval. I also started taking a lot of supplements that could improve egg quality, like CoQ10 and myo-inositol. It's really, really good for women who have PCOS, and it improves egg quality. So I really think that the inositol was one of the main reasons I had such better egg quality the second time around, because it had lowered my testosterone. My testosterone, before I went into my first retrieval, was like 90 something. And then I started inositol shortly after that. So I had been on it, I think 4 months or so. I had my testosterone tested again after that, and it was completely normal, like right smack dab in the middle of where a woman's testosterone level should be. So that was, I think that was a big part of it too. It also could have been I chose a different sperm donor, and maybe that sperm donor and my eggs were more compatible. And then one last reason could be because with my first round, we were using frozen and thawed eggs before making the embryos. With my second round, the eggs were retrieved and the embryos were made right then without freezing them. So I know that frozen eggs decrease in quality as well. So that could be another reason. Okay, so after having Graydon, obviously I have 5 normal embryos left. I do know the genders. With Graydon, I told them to put the best gender in, or the best embryo in, and I did know the gender. With my next transfer, I plan on, again, putting the next best, highest graded embryo in. I had 2 day 5 embryos, and one of them is Graydon, so the other day 5 embryo I plan on transferring first. With my transfer with Graydon, I did a modified natural frozen embryo transfer, so I did not have to do progesterone and oil shots, which was really nice. I just did 1 single progesterone suppository every night until 10 weeks of pregnancy. I did take letrozole for, I want to say, cycle days 3 through 7 to help grow a follicle. Had an ultrasound on cycle day 13, and I had 2 dominant follicles. One was, I believe, 24 millimeters. I was like just about to ovulate. I did a trigger shot to make sure we knew exactly when I was going to ovulate that night. And then because I had done an ERA before, I actually came back pre-receptive. I needed an additional 13 hours after starting progesterone or after ovulating before having the transfer. So we applied that as well, and I had my transfer 13 hours later than the typical like 120 hours after you do a trigger shot. So part of me is wondering like if I need to do another ERA next time around to see if like my receptivity has changed, because I know like your uterus can change after having a pregnancy, of course. So I did have a virtual visit with the fertility doctor a few months ago, just to like talk through my thoughts and my timing. And she did say that we would definitely do another natural transfer, which is great. I'm almost even thinking that I might try to like not even do letrozole, because ever since having Graydon, I got my cycle back. I think he was about 10 months old when I got my cycle back, so I breastfed him, of course. And ever since then, my cycle has been completely regular. The inositol and the supplements that I'm taking, the fact that I have PCOS and I have a totally regular cycle is like, I feel like I can completely attribute it to those supplements and my lifestyle, minimizing as many endocrine disruptors as I can, no synthetic fragrances, eating organic, like just doing everything I can to minimize the PCOS symptoms. So I'm kind of curious if I could just, try it without doing letrozole and just monitoring my ovulation. I wear an Oura ring. I use Natural Cycles and LH strips every month, and I'm very confident in my regularity with ovulation. So I'm thinking like maybe we'll try that. If for some reason I have trouble growing a dominant follicle without the letrozole, then we can always add in the letrozole. But my timing is, I'm thinking of doing a transfer like late spring, early summer of 2026. I am very nervous about having 2 children all on my own though. And that is something that's been like holding me back from doing another transfer sooner. I just don't know if I can handle it. But like Graydon is an only child, of course, right now. I'm an only child. So that means I don't have any siblings. So he doesn't have any like immediate aunts or uncles or cousins. He has like, you know, second cousin, like my cousin's kids and things like that, but they live far away. And so he has like no one other than me. Like when my parents are gone, and like I hate to think about this, but like it'll just be me and him. And then when I'm gone someday, like I don't want him to be like completely alone in this world. Like I feel like he absolutely needs a sibling. And I also just feel very, like I definitely want to have another child, like just selfishly, like I just want to be pregnant again. I want to have another child. I've always wanted 2 to 3 kids. It's just so sad like that I have to do it on my own. Like I would love to share that whole experience with a man that I love and then like go through everything together. And that's something that like just, it makes me so sad every single day when I think about that, like that I'll never experience like what it's like to like grow a baby with the love of my life. And who knows, maybe there will be a miracle and I'll meet somebody and we can have a baby together, or I can have another embryo. Maybe I have 3 kids. I don't know. But I just wanted to share all of my like fears with you guys. Like, I don't know how there's so many single moms by choice out there that have 2 or 3 or even more children. And I'm just like in awe, like that you guys have done that. Like, I just really doubt my capabilities of being able to do that on my own. But then I also feel like I have no choice. I have to have another baby. So yeah, that's where my head is at. I do have to have another endometrial biopsy before I can proceed with another transfer. It has to be within 6 months of my next transfer to make sure the cancer didn't come back. So I'm really dreading that. I said I would never do that again. That was like the worst pain in my entire life when I had that first endometrial biopsy. But yeah, so I'll probably do that early next year. I'm thinking like January. So I'll keep you posted on that. One other thing is that, or a couple other things actually, is so like this house I'm in right now, I only have 2 bedrooms. I really would like to have a bigger house before having another baby with 3, maybe even 4 bedrooms. So I'm on the lookout for another house. And then with my new job, I do have concerns about being able to have the freedom to breastfeed on demand or even on like a schedule, because I am in Google Meets like all day, every day, both with clients and internal. So I don't know how that's going to all work, but I guess I will figure it out. Breastfeeding is very important to me. My job is important to me. I'll figure it out. So that's where I am. I know this video was all over the place again. I'm very much a perfectionist, and the thought of like filming a video, like I think that I like want to write everything out and have an agenda and be very like on topic and have an exact like outline of how the video will go. But because I'm so busy, like I've just decided to like throw that out the window. I'm just gonna like throw out all of my fears and thoughts. And even if they're haphazard, I want to post these videos to connect with you guys. And I'm sure a lot of you are probably having similar feelings if you have 1 child as a single mom by choice and contemplating another one. So it's nice to just feel less alone in this. So thank you guys so much for all of your sweet comments on my last video. I they mean the world to me. Everybody who reaches out and says how much my videos have helped them, it's just amazing. So I love our community. I will see you guys very soon. Thanks. Bye.